We're back with Endzone, A World Apart. We'll be playing on PC with keyboard and mouse. We get side missions now. End scenario. There's a bunch of updates they had throughout the year, so I'm really excited. Also, they have a I believe they have a new soundtrack as well, official soundtrack, which I'm excited for because you know I love fucking official soundtracks.
Earth used to be our home. Until the nuclear catastrophe plunged it into chaos. Only few of us were able to flee to large bunker complexes. I was born there. I grew up in darkness. After 150 years, we finally returned to the surface of the Earth. At the beginning, it all came down to surviving. We began to store water and stock up on what was absolutely necessary. It looked as if our preparations were going to pay off. But the planet has changed.
Radiation has become an invisible, deadly companion. Droughts and sandstorms plague us time and again. Consequences of the drastic destruction of our environment. But we weather these dangers. We forge ahead to make this world bearable again. And look with curiosity toward the future.
We have created a new home for ourselves in order to lead a happy life. And yet, no peace lasts forever. Some survivors envy our hard-won prosperity. We won't allow our success to be simply taken away from us. We have to act. And we'll overcome this threat too. Not only for ourselves, but to give our descendants a tomorrow. We will live on. It's up to you to build our future.
Welcome to Endzone, A World Apart. From the same creators that made Sticky Business. If you remember, we did that campaign. I freaking love it. The Save the World edition contains Endzone, A World Apart, and the official soundtrack, and is the best option for all those who want to support and appreciate the developers' work on Endzone, A World Apart even more. On top of that, you can help us save the planet. Assemble Entertainment has partnered with the non-profit organization OneTreePlanted to launch a charitable campaign aimed at fighting a very real-life, end-of-the-world scenario, climate change. Together, we will plant a tree for every Save the World edition sold. Join us and contribute your share to the Save the World. About Endzone, a world apart. In 2021, a group of terrorists blew up nuclear power plants around the world and plunged the world into chaos. Only few were able to escape into underground facilities called Endzones. 150 years later, mankind returns to the surface under your command. In an extremely hostile environment full of radioactivity, contaminated rain, and extreme climate change, you'll have to prove your worth as a leader. Build a settlement on the hostile surface of the Earth with over 70 different buildings and take care of your men, women, and children. Gather and refine many different resources and manage your economy by building an efficient infrastructure with streets and depositories. Experience dynamically simulated believable environments. Every ground cell in the game has its own humidity and radiation values. Survive in a world of constant threats including radioactively contaminated ground, droughts, toxic rain, sandstorms, and raiders. Send expeditions to forgotten places and make meaningful decisions that change the fate of your people. Experience a living settlement and fulfill side missions to cater for your settlers' needs. A variety of challenging scenarios with specific winning conditions and a distinct storyline will put your survival skills to the test. The world as we know it is gone. Build a new home for the last human survivors on Earth. Give them shelter and a house. Fulfill their basic needs with steady water and food supplies. Educate them, ensure their survival, and help them stay motivated with over 50 different buildings. As the leader of your settlement, coordinate and assign different professions and tasks. Let your people gather and refine any different resources and manage your economy by building an efficient infrastructure with streets, depositories, and markets. Every ground cell in the game features dynamically simulated humidity and radiation. Watch as rain clouds irrigate your soil or prepare for constant fights against contaminated rain, bringing devastating radiation to your lands. The climate has changed. Prepare for recurring and agonizing droughts and plan ahead by stocking up food and water. Every cycle is a new challenge. Withstand the unstoppable sandstorms as it destroys buildings and brings deadly radiation. The invisible danger of radiation is still haunting the surface with contaminated rain. Protect your people from radiation sickness with special gear. Clean water with active coal filters. Build roofs on your fields and dig up the ground as a last resort to remove radiation from your land. The world is in shambles, but some of the mankind fragments still remain. Send expeditions to ruins and long-forgotten places and make meaningful decisions that change the fate of your people. Now let's dive in.
Humanity survived. Our ancestors have destroyed the world, and we had to pay the price. With over 100 years without sunlight, but we have prepared ourselves for our chance to make things right. They stole from us a life of happiness. Still, we will make the best of it. Even though Mother Earth is grim and tainted, we have managed to survive. And we will keep surviving.
Nice. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Alright, let's do a new game. I I believe I have played this game before when it was in early access. But let's start over. You do the main tutorial. A longer, irrelated tutorial that includes all important aspects of the game. Follow Arthur Sachines? How do you say his name? Arthur saw instructions and obtained important clues and useful information to survive in the merciless world of Endzone. Sorry. Well, I like that music. I like it. Okay, here we are.
We finally left the end zone.
Ooh, narrator.
Look at this beautiful scenery. It's marvelous, even though it's a bit different from what we had pictured. We were able to secure a few basic resources and are storing them in our bus.
All right, let's build a new home.
I'm glad we prepared ourselves well for this kind of scenario, especially since our inventories in the end zone ran low. Don't forget that if you need additional information, you can look at our survival guide at any time.
All right, so open the survival guide up here. Tasks. With the help of tasks, freely available settlers are instructed to gather certain resources or remove radiation in a certain area. Tasks like these will only be performed by settlers who do not perform any function. Up to 4 settlers can work on one task at a time. The only exception to this is the task for removing radiation. The task to remove radiation will be carried out by any settler who currently has nothing to do, even by those settlers who have been assigned a profession.
Well done. Everything you need to know should be right here. I think the time has come for us to at last build ourselves a new home here. Before we can construct buildings at all, we have to assign the profession builder to several settlers so that they can take care of construction contracts. In general, it's your responsibility to decide which tasks are important and how our settlers are supposed to be distributed to attend to them.
Open the profession menu. Assign settlers to the profession builder.
All right. Your builders will be ready as soon as construction contracts have been issued. It's time to start focusing on our key and most basic need, water. The first thing we ought to do is to establish a working water supply. So we'll move on to our first construction contract. Place and build a jetty by a lake in the vicinity of your town center.
How do I start them from building it? Speed it up? There you go.
Very good. The jetty was completed as planned. Now we have a place where we can collect water. There are other possibilities to gather water too, but the jetty is the simplest and most cost-effective method. We can obtain and store water from different sources, like a jetty, rain collector, or well in the cistern. The cistern should always be in close proximity to a water source, so that our water carriers don't have to walk too far.
Okay, so I have to build a cistern. Does this have to go with the water? Like, how does this work? I don't know if I did that right. Is this supposed to be... Oh. I think I did that right. What are these guys doing here? Just standing there. Are they supposed to be building stuff? We need water carriers. Right, there you go. Alright, so next is water produced, 100. Just the water tank needs to be filled? Full level? It's gonna take forever.
Great. We have now installed a working water supply, and water is now transported from the jetty to our cistern. Consider hiring more water carriers if you don't have enough settlers available.
Apologize
You
for
can
my
never have
my throat
enough water
clearing.
in storage.
I try to mute the mic when I do it. Still a bit. I'm on the mend, but my throat just can't get rid of this darn cough.
Now we should focus on food production. It's important to ensure the supply right from the start. A gatherer's cabin, a hunting lodge, or a fishing hut can directly remedy the situation. I suggest starting with a fishing hut, since we're already located near a lake.
Fishing hut. Okay. Does the fishing hut work? Do I have to have it? Let's see. Should I put the fishing hut like here? Or put it right there? Alright, we have to assign 2 fishers. And produce 50 fish. Let's just speed it up.
Good work. We've now taken care of our basic supply via food and water. Make sure that you have enough food and water on hand at all times, especially if you want to upgrade your settlement. A population that grows too fast can quickly unbalance your food and water supply, bringing major difficulties for you if you don't watch out. Crops are another excellent way of getting food, because they constantly grow as long as the soil is moist enough. Each seed has different yields and growing times. This means that it could take some time until your field is ready to be harvested, in contrast to your fishing hut, where production can be right away.
Trying to figure out where to put it. Oh. Alright, I gotta assign sellers to it. How many? 1 farmer. Okay. Seeds from field chosen 1. Open the view for an environmental irrigation. Let's choose a seed. Black salsify. What is that? We do cabbage? It doesn't tell us which one. Open the view for environmental irrigation. Where is that?
Looks good. Remember that we need the widest variety of food sources to stay healthy. You should also plan ahead for drought periods that might come when it's not going to rain.
Oh, yes.
Stock up on food and adapt your production to avoid bottlenecks. I'll show you a few more strategies later on. At the beginning, we don't have much scrap wood or other resources. We could build a production building, but to obtain resources as fast as possible, it's best that we start gathering right away. Assign a Gather All Resources task. All the settlers who haven't been assigned any profession by you are going to accept these kinds of tasks.
How do you
In
do
addition,
that?
settlers distribute resources within your settlement.
Place, gather wood task, resources. Where's the? Oh, these are the tasks right here. But what? Oh, I see. Okay, gather wood. Place gather wood task. Okay. Gather scraps. Right. Free settler. What does that mean? Oh, do I need to free up another one? Builder. There you go. And then produce scrap and produce wood. So I just gotta wait. Let's fast forward it. You know what? I think I put the scrap too far. I think it should have been over here because I didn't realize there's a scrap pile over here. Can I change it, I wonder? Can I move this?
Since we
not
now
sure.
own plenty of resources, we can start to build a real production building. But you
Alright.
don't have to always make efforts by hand that collecting is taking place. Production buildings are not only easier to manage, they are also distinctly more effective than simple tasks. Don't place production buildings too far away from your settlement. You'll be able to change their working area at any time later on. Right on. The best thing for us to do now is to build a forester's lodge to automate our supply of wood and make it more effective at the same time. Foresters are not only able to chop down trees, they reforest areas with trees as well.
Alright, so I gotta build a forester's lodge. Speculating, I'm gonna be building it close to the base near a forest. So let's put it in here. And then I believe we have to assign settlers to it, but let's fast forward. Assign one forester. Yeah, I should have moved that. This scraps is way too far. I really didn't mean it to have it so far away, but it's okay. I should have put it right here instead. Is he building? Are they still building this thing here? What's going on? So hard to see. It's right here, right? just one builder in this thing? There's 2 builders. Should be 3. There you go. Alright. We produce 20 wood, and we're done. Next task.
Good job. You might want to change this building's working area later on to tell your workers where they should get their wood from. Ah, and for your information, if you want, you can also tell your Forester's Lodge that they only ought to attend to reforesting an area in order to create a lush, green forest which generations to come can use. Very good. Now we ought to take care of collecting scrap. Scrap is one of the most valuable resources because the quantities present are limited, and we can recover other resources from scrap. Unlike the task we just had, the scrap yard allows larger quantities of existing scrap to be dismantled than with ruins or wrecks.
Alright, so science settlers and profession. You gotta build a scrapyard first. Let's make sure we're building in the right place. There's a bunch of scrap over here. How far is the base? Base right there. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of scrap over here. So if we can get it in the middle, it'd be great. Right about. Oh, what happened? Saving. It scared me. I was like, what's going on? Alright, I have to sign to scrap collector. I'm gonna sign all these people here. It's 1. I need more people soon. Let's fast forward that one. It's exciting to revisit this game now because they've done so many updates and rework on the game throughout the whole process of just working on the game. I'm so proud of these devs. They've done so much. And it looks amazing. I love the music as well. I was playing, I know it's not, I'm so sorry. I was playing Sticky Business through the whole month of December. Oh, it's still December. And in Sticky Business, they have this little stocking. You press on it and you get a free sticker every day. So I was like, I need to get my free sticker today. It's a cute game. It's funny too, because I don't think that they meant it to be a game and then everybody just loved it. And so it became a game, and it's wonderful, and I love it. My daughter plays it too.
You can change
Yeah,
the working area for the scrapyard too. We can recycle scrap into 4 additional resources: cloth, metal, plastic, and electronics. We'll do that shortly, but for now we ought to take care of your settlers' needs first.
Okay, that sounds good.
Our people want a place to sleep and live.
Well,
Cabins
yeah.
fulfill their need for safety
That's
and
sweet, Jared.
privacy, and increase the confidence of their inhabitants. In other words, building cabins increases their willingness to start families and reproduce, if you know what I mean.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Yes, we know what you mean, Arthur. Arthur's gonna teach us the birds and the bees pretty soon here. All right, we gotta build a cabin. It's housing, cabin. Where should the cabins be? Location attractiveness. All right, I guess I'll put it right here. I guess. How many cabins are we gonna have? Wants me to build 8 of them? Okay, so 4. I might not want to do that because I might want to extend my farm. And what is this one right here? Is this that's the cisterns. Now with each house, do we get new population, I wonder? Or is this just for... I wonder, we'll find out, I guess. I'm hoping we get more population, because we need more people here. We got 4 cabins so far. Perfect. No más, no más. Or... on.
Besides cabins, you can also provide sturdy houses and shelters as housing. Sturdy houses withstand sandstorms better and have an increased storage capacity to boot. Children living in houses gradually fill up the house's stockpiles. Settlers do not reproduce in a shelter because they lack privacy.
Oh, okay. Sturdy houses with down some have increased storage. Okay, children living in the house gradually fill up the house stockpiles. Okay, I get it.
Let's return from our excursion into housing and refocus on scrap. With the help of a recycler or refinery, scrap can be sorted into 4 different resources. A recycler always takes scrap apart, one resource at a time, while a refinery automatically produces all 4 resources. To start off, you should build a recycler and produce cloth.
Where should the recycler go? Did it go close to the scraps, or I don't know. Refinery. We gotta produce cloth. Oh, you can see it being made. It's cool. Oh, you can't see because I'm in the way here. Let me move you. You can see it like being made right here.
You can instruct your recycler to produce a different resource at a time. It's important that you focus on the resources you really need, at least in the beginning. Cloth and metal look like good options if you want to equip us with protective clothing and tools. Happy settlers are industrious settlers. That's why we ought to look after our people and protect them against the surroundings and dangers, like radiation. So let's start by transforming our newly recovered cloth into protective clothing.
Oops, I cut him off. He says, I need to build a tailor shop. Let's put it next to the cloth. And I have to assign sailors to the profession. We're building it. I need 1 tailor. I need to make a neck scarf and open the view for environmental radiation contamination. So green is low. Oh, it shows you the terrestrial radiation level by color. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, that's cool. All right, let's let them build that tailor shop and produce the neck scarf. I'm just gonna keep myself here and a little bit small so you guys can see the HUD.
We categorize environmental radiation into 4 levels: no radiation, low level, medium level, and high level radiation. The radiation changes constantly and is influenced by weather and contaminated rain. Protective clothing helps to protect us against this kind of radiation, but it takes a while before it's produced. And production relies on a steady flow of incoming resources. Try to establish production chains at an early stage and start to stockpile goods so that some are always on hand. The tools we brought along from the Endzone are slowly but surely running out. So now, let's focus on manufacturing new tools. The tools will help us to work effectively. We'll need metal for that, so we'll prepare for production by building another recycler, which we'll commission to recover metal from scrap. After that, we'll need a workshop to enable the manufacturing of brand new tools.
We need a recycler. It says we need to build 2 recyclers. And a workshop? And I have to instruct a recycler to produce metal. But I can't do that yet until 1. Can I? Thanks. I think I have to build them first. Let's do one thing at a time here. So first we're gonna build 2 recyclers. So that's right there. And a workshop. We have to assign settlers to the profession refiner, which is, we need 2 refiners. We only have 1 refiner, so we need 2 refiners. And then we need to instruct a recycler to produce metal, but I think we have to wait until it's built or such. Okay, so now we could do metal. How many do we need? Just says 1. And you gotta build a workshop. Assign settlers to the profession technician. We need 1 technician. We do not have enough, so let's take a builder away and put a technician in there. Instruct a workshop to produce metal tool. Right? Done. Slow down here. And metal tool produced 2. Hope I did this right. There's nobody at the recycler. Oh shit. Alright, well hold on. Pause. Something's wrong. Would it be refiner? But we don't have enough. We do this wrong? I'm not sure. There's nobody there. Well, that's for the cloth, so we want the metal. This says there's no workforce available for his place, so maybe that's why. Hold on. This is the recycler over here? That's the workshop. It says it's it's doing it. It's just taking a while. All right.
With our lovely new tools,
There you
we're
go.
now prepared to work effectively. Should you ever run out of metal, keep in mind that you can also instruct your workshop to manufacture tools from scrap instead of metal. Though they won't be quite as effective, it's still better than being forced to work with bare hands. Down in the Endzone, we had sufficient time and resources to educate ourselves properly. But our children don't have this luxury. We ought to build a school and pass on what we've learned. As a result, they will be able to survive and work better and more effectively.
Alright, let's build a school here then. Where's the houses? Should we be close to the house, maybe? But we don't want to... To assign a teacher? I don't know how I'm going to assign all these people.
Perfect. Besides the fact that educated children work more effectively, we'll also teach them to be more careful with their protective clothing and tools. This, in turn, leads to them staying intact longer, and we conserve valuable resources. Now that our population is starting to grow, we ought to again turn our attention to the topic of food production. We are already accumulating fish and tilling our fields. A gatherer's cabin will now enable us to gather mushrooms and berries from the forest nearby.
I'm running out of people to assign the places to here. Oh, I got more people now. Alright. Assign settlers to profession gatherer. Oh, I need to do two. Where's gather again? There you go.
Very good. As you can see, the gatherer's cabin is an effective possibility to get food quickly. But watch out. After a drought, it's going to take some time before the plants have regrown. As is the case with most buildings, here too, you can relocate the working area at any time. Although we are sufficiently supplied at the moment, our survival depends on diligent planning. If we can lay out a plan for an orchard, then we can start to plant fruit or nut trees that we can harvest after a few seasons.
Nut trees. Orchard. Alright. Seeds chosen. We need, we're doing plum?
The orchard has been laid out. and the trees are already beginning to grow.
Nice.
Similar to crops for farming, trees need some time until they are fully grown. But once they have grown, they can be harvested again and again
Oh,
until they have
nice.
to be newly planted.
I wonder how many
Our
harvestings you can get
gathers food from the surrounding
where you have to
forests.
replant.
However, there are any number of other plants there which we can use as well. These plants can be gathered by an herbal hut. The herbs gathered there can be consumed by settlers to replenish their health.
Alright, so get this herbal hut. Where's the herbal hut? It's under. Resources. Oh, wowee. Holy moly. I don't know if I'm placing any of these things right. I'm just trying to keep to the resources, but I don't know how it matters because, you know, the base is right here, but it's all circled in the base, so I guess it's not bad. We gotta assign a settler to the profession herbalist. Where is it? And produce herbs, about 20 herbs. Alright, let's go!
Well done. We can equally utilize the gathered herbs to convert them into medicine later on. It might happen that an illness breaks out in our settlement from time to time and spreads among our settlers. That's why we always ought to have enough herbs on hand. Radiation is the main reason why the health status of our settlement can decrease. Although our settlers already use protective clothing to shield themselves against environmental radiation, it might occur that our sources of water become contaminated. We should start to filter our water to prevent this from happening. We will need a great deal of charcoal to accomplish this. The charcoal kiln will burn wood to produce charcoal.
Alright, so we gotta make a charcoal. Does it matter where we put it though? Those profession charcoal burn. Use charcoal. Alright, so now we're trying to produce coal. Is 2 coal gonna produce?
Great. We can use the charcoal in conjunction with a filtration system to purify our water. Unfortunately, our cistern is not able to do this. Only the water tower has the necessary equipment for this capability. It would be a disgrace if we had to demolish our trusted cistern just to erect a water tower in its place. What we ought to do instead is upgrade the cistern itself. A water tower can store much more water and provides workplaces for a lot more water carriers than our old cistern.
Okay, so we gotta upgrade our cistern. Which, our cistern is, I think, over here? No, that's a school. There's a cistern. Upgrade it? Oopsie, no. Upgrade it? Sorry. I'm gonna cancel it. Assign settlers to refinery, and we need 3 settlers for the refinery. Just one more. Instruct a recycler to produce plastic. Recyclers are down. Recyclers. Where do you find your shit? That's a herbal hut. Charcoal. Forester. Oh, here's a recycler. So we need to make plastic. Also, do we have everybody on a recycler? Three. Alright, so we need to upgrade your cistern to a water tower. I thought I did that. Did I not do that? Oh, the upgrade process is 30%. It takes a while, that's why. Assign water carriers. Alright. Water carriers. 2 more water carriers. There you go. There you go.
Our new water tower is up and ready for action. Good work. Filtering the water is an important next step because clean drinking water is a key mainstay of any stable society. Let's begin with filtering our water. To save on charcoal, we ought to ensure that at least a little bit of water not contaminated by radiation is being stored in our water tower. Water gained from a well is never contaminated by radiation, so it suggests itself for that purpose. Then we can use the remaining charcoal to produce better protective clothing.
Alright, so we gotta build a well. Here's underwater. Where is... Assign sellers to professional well keeper. Keeper. Okay. Activate filter on your water tower. Filter. Filtration. Active. Instruct a tailor shop to produce active carbon. Right, activated carbon mask? Or oh yeah, okay. The changing it? Hold on here. I think I changed it. We'll see, I guess. And then I think we wait. Let's speed it up. No, it's still making those neck scarves, so what am I doing wrong here? Hold on, hold on. Required resources, production, time, cloth, and what? Why can't I change it? Changes it there, but it won't change to activated carbon mask. Why? Looks like it changed. I don't know if I'm doing this right. What happened? It says there's 4 now. Okay, now it's working.
Good work. We are continuously taking steps towards being better and better equipped to be able to survive in this hostile environment. Filtered water is a precious asset, and later on, we can even use it to irrigate our fields. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Not only our water can become a hazard for our settlers due to radiation, our food can too. We ought to erect a decontamination post to prevent settlers from eating meals that are contaminated with radiation.
Alright, so decontamination post. What's that under? Under logistics. I put it though. Alright, I have to sign a profession decontaminator. Oopsie. Oh, I need to build additional houses here. Okay. Do 3. What else? Storage capacity is running out. Improve your infrastructure. How do I do? Improve my infrastructure. How do I do that? Is this my infrastructure? How do I improve it? Builder model. I don't know, maybe the tutorial will tell me once I'm done. I'm trying to build this post here.
Very good. The decontamination post is going to supply all buildings that stockpile food and are located in its working area in order to purify the food that has been affected by radiation. It's true. We should never forget that even when we optimally prepare and protect ourselves, we're still going to lose friends and members of our family time and again. We're going to mourn them.
Ooh, we're gonna build a
But
cemetery?
if we're able to bury them in a cemetery, then we'll get over the pain and let them rest in peace.
Alright, mate. Here, we're getting the cemetery. Where the fuck are we putting the cemetery? I don't want it close by. I don't know. Do we have to have it? Maybe we have to have it close by. There. We have to sign a mortician. Oh, we can have 10 morticians there. Crazy.
Okay, the cemetery will help us to quickly get a hold on ourselves and focus on the tasks that lie ahead. It's not a pleasant thought, but that's the way things are. At the very least, we're pioneers, aren't we? Maybe we ought to distract ourselves to lighten up the mood. We can erect a number of buildings to increase confidence in our settlement, including, for example, a campfire or a pub. In this situation, however, our best option would probably be to upgrade our town center. Settlers can visit the new town center, and by doing so, increase their confidence for a while.
Oh, okay. Place and rest. Mounted bus built. How do I do that? Do I have to upgrade my bus? Well, let's pause it. I think I have to upgrade it. Oh, okay. And then it's gonna take a while to upgrade.
Very good. The new town center not only gives us more storage space, at the same time, it functions just like a campfire, too. Settlers can visit the new town center, and by doing so, increase their confidence for a while. Now that we have made efforts to ensure the spiritual well-being of our settlers, we ought to attend to their physical health as well. Our settlers can get sick from time to time. Settlers who have become infected with a disease can die from it if they're not treated. Settlers will go to a medical facility to have themselves treated and will be admitted there, provided that beds are still available. We ought to ensure our settlers' medical health care.
We need to build a medical facility? I'm running out of room here. And sign a medic. What's our notifications over here? Build more shelters. I was building cabins. I couldn't build it. I don't know. Maybe the tutorial will tell us. See. When is it taking them so long to build this thing here? They're not building it. What's going on here? Did I mess up something? Ooh. Nobody's building this thing. Come on here. Is there not enough wood, maybe? Oh, it needs metal. We need metal. So we don't have enough scraps. Hold on. What's wrong here? How many do we have on the scrap pile? We have scrap collectors. Let's take the wood. Where is it? Oh, no, no, no. That's not it. We have to change to metal. We gotta make metal, right? Yeah, let's make metal, because we're making cloth right now. See what happens. I think I did mess up, though. We have no metal to make this. Yeah, it's missing metal. It needs 16 sheets of metal. Ooh, I'm losing my voice. Oh, no. I'm hoping that we can finish the tutorial, but if my voice is going, I might have to cut it shorter than I wanted to. We'll see. I'm gonna try my best. Alright, so we got 4 sheets of metal. We need refiners, then just... Oh, it's built. Now we just gotta make the medicine.
With this step, we have ensured the survival of the settlement for a while. Very good work. Since more and more children are being born these days, we should start to plan for the long term. While cabins are a good way to get settlers to start a family, they only provide limited space. This can quickly lead to people having to live on the street. Allow me to suggest to you that cabins be provided only in a very targeted manner in order to control the population growth.
We were supposed to make shelters, not... Okay.
Nothing is worse than not having enough resources to provide for everyone. We ought to build a shelter to be able to provide other inhabitants with a roof over their heads too.
So we probably shouldn't have made all those cabins. I was getting a little zealous there, huh? Gotta follow the tutorial!
Very good. Remember that when children grow up, they're going to leave their parents' house and look around for a new place to live. It might happen that they don't find any home at all. We ought to build a shelter to be able to provide all inhabitants with a roof over their heads. I've already pointed out to you that it could become very dangerous if we were to run out of food at some point. Since a lot of people are going to be living in the new shelter, we ought to provide them with access to food in their vicinity. A hunting lodge can look for wildlife in the surrounding area to bring a little meat to the menu.
Alright, it's a hunting lodge. Huh? But that. Assign a hunter. No teachers, dude.
Perfect. The hunting lodge equally provides us directly with food, but it functions somewhat irregularly because it relies on wildlife in the surrounding area. Nevertheless, it can be indispensable during a drought because even the deer and wild boar still roam around the forest. However, wild animals can not only be shot, they can be captured too. When a wild animal has
I
been
should have moved it
captured, can be
further
brought
into
to
the
a
forest
pasture
then.
and
That was
served
a
for its
mistake.
livestock. In order to capture wild animals, you have to instruct your hunter to do this. You also ought to set up a pasture and assign a herder.
Alright. Reset your hunting lodge to capture option. Okay. Pasture, build a pasture. Do I do it near the lodge, near the hunting lodge, or where do I put the pasture? And assign tillage, herder. Assign a type of animal to your pastures as soon as your hunter has captured an animal. I have to wait for the pastures to be built first.
Animals captured by a hunter are brought to a pasture where they are tended to and cared for by herders. Some animals produce resources such as milk or eggs. Other animals can only be slaughtered to eat. You ought to find out for yourself which type of animal brings you which benefit. On each pasture, you can choose which type of animal ought to be kept there. You must provide water for the animals you keep on your pasture. This enables them to survive and reproduce. When enough animals are fully grown, the herder will start to slaughter them. If you don't want animals to be slaughtered, you can also instruct the herder not to do so. Now your herders know how they ought to handle the animals. And now that you've already captured several animals, don't forget to instruct your hunters to hunt animals again in the future so that they can continue to gather and provide food. With our increased production, our stockpile is going to run out soon. The supply routes for our production buildings are getting longer and longer too. To tackle these problems, you ought to build a temporary storeroom and have roads laid
Oh, I was
out.
wondering why, because my storage was going out. So I need a storage. Is it under? Or a storeroom? Is it under housing? Logistics. So how does this work? Do I need to connect it to anything? Or just there? Build dirt road. Just road. Oh, dirt road. Oh. No, did I put it too close to here? How do I build a dirt road? I don't.
With our increased production, our
I have to build a temporary storeroom and have roads laid out. What roads laid? How do you lay the roads out? Maybe I put it too close. Can I remove this now? Let me see. I don't want to demolish it. I want to move it. Is there a way to move it? Do I have to demolish it to move it? Let's see. Demolish next or... Try this again. I don't know if I did this wrong. I might have had to make... I think this is the entrance, so if I put it like that... Now can I do the rows? What do they mean by roads? How do I build a road? I don't understand. Oh, here's a dirt road. Oh. Where do I put this dirt road? You want 10?
good. Temporary storerooms increase
I'm not sure if I did that right.
Storage capacity. Place them in a targeted manner
So,
in order to shorten the routes for
Oh,
goods between
I
your
see.
production buildings.
Oh.
Roads are equally a great benefit because settlers moving on roads can go distinctly faster than on a normal supporting surface.
That makes sense, alright.
To improve the whole thing even further, we can build a market to improve logistics at the settlement.
Build a market.
Besides being an enormous stockpile
Holy
of
moly, it's
resources
massive.
that is even able to store water, the market is responsible for distributing resources
where am I
within
gonna
your
put
settlement. What's more, it also increases your settlers' confidence.
But where am I gonna put it, man? I'm fucking massive. Massive. Yeah, it's taking a while to build this here. What's going on? It is pretty big, so I don't know. There you are.
Logisticians are able to amass resources from the whole settlement and bring them to the market. This improves the flow of your products and leads to your settlers having to walk shorter distances to fulfill their individual needs. The combination of these attributes makes the market the ideal building when you want to enlarge or even relocate your settlement. The larger your settlement gets, the farther some settlers have to travel to get to all of the food you produce. To make life a little easier for them, you can build a food station. Logisticians who work at the food station will collect food from your storage buildings and production facilities and bring it to the food station.
Yeah, it's taking forever to build this thing.
With the new food station, your settlers are now able to supply themselves with food directly on site.
Oh,
If your
nice.
settlement is supposed to grow even further, you can think about whether you want to provide additional food stations. Distributing food at your settlement is going to prove to be extremely practical. However, your settlers not only need food to survive, they need water too. To be
We gotta build a water point? And another logistics.
Now that your settlers also have a water point available, they can supply themselves with water and food. Similar to how it's done at the food stations, this enables you to precisely control at which places your settlers are able to attend to their needs. Since we have our logistics under control, now we can concern ourselves with the weather and its challenges. We can build a weather station to enable us to make a forecast regarding upcoming weather and learn if potentially contaminated rain might be coming our way. It can also be used to prepare our crops and rainwater collectors we might have against contaminated rain by covering them.
Where's the weather station? That was logistics, not logistics. Technology. Gosh, I'm running out of room here. I've been very bad with spacing things. It's taking forever. What am I doing wrong here? Do I have not enough people to... There it goes.
Very good. Now that we know what sort of weather awaits us and how we can protect ourselves against contaminated rain by covering our crops and rainwater collectors, we ought to attend to collecting the rain we want. Rain not only humidifies the soil, it can also be automatically collected via rainwater collectors to generate a steady flow of additional water. Since we've already built our weather station, we're able to decide what kind of circumstances would make us want to cover our rain collectors. Never forget that our settlers might get sick if we distribute water contaminated with radiation at our settlement, even if they're wearing protective clothing. We should make sure that the collected water is as purified as possible. We can have our crops covered to shield our seedlings against radiation. But once they've been covered, naturally they won't be irrigated with rain anymore. To rectify this problem, we can build an irrigation plant that is able to artificially regulate soil humidification. Place this building with care, because it is only going to irrigate the soil within its impact radius. Fabulous. As long as our irrigation plant is supplied with filtered water, it is able to neutralize a possible contamination of the soil due to radiation. But watch out. When water contaminated with radiation is fed into the system, this can lead to precisely the opposite, and the irrigation plant itself may possibly cause radioactive pollution of its surrounding area. Alongside contaminated rain, there are other environmental hazards, such as sandstorms or droughts. The soil dries out during a drought, and sandstorms sweep across the landscape from time to time. These sandstorms can damage your buildings and ultimately make them unfit for use. We ought to prepare for this and assign several more builders to enable potential damage to be repaired. You can decide which type of task your builders ought to give priority to at our town center. You can instruct them to merely repair buildings, to erect new buildings, or to do both at the same time. This enables you to react quickly in crisis situations. Now that we've taken care of all the necessary needs of our settlement, such as food, water, protective clothing, and tools, our next efforts ought to focus on increasing the settlement's overall productivity. A research station allows us to develop different technologies. One step in moving our settlement ahead is to make it possible for our refiners to acquire electronics from scrap. We should perform research on the appropriate technology to achieve this and instruct one of our refiners to produce electronics.
Alright, so we're gonna make a research station, assign settlers to it. We need 3 researchers. And research electronics. Build 1 more recycler. Do we need to put the recycler somewhere else? I'm not sure. Probably really bad with the placing. I need to instruct a recycler to produce electronics. Assign settlers to a refiner. Refiner, where are you? Ooh, is that a sandstorm? Or oncoming sandstorm. Alright, we're gonna do a little bit more of this and then we're gonna call it, because it's been almost an hour and a half. And I'm starting to feel a little nauseous because I'm still sick. So we might just get back to the tutorial. Let's do this last step and see how far we gotta go here. Alright, so now we gotta instruct a electronics to produce electronics. How do you do that? I see metal. Where's electronics? How do I do that? Wait a minute. What am I missing here? Is it because of the research building? Do I need to research it first? What's the metal? Open research window. Maybe I have to research it first? Would that be electricity? Electronics. Oh, I have to research it first. Okay. So now I'm researching this. So I have to research it first, and then I can instruct electrician to electronic research. Okay. Then I can instruct a recycler to produce for electronics. I don't know how long it's going to take to research this thing. Or I need wood and scrap. 150. It's getting there. Alright, so now we have the resources, we have the required resources to research the electronics, but it's going to take some time to actually research it. We're almost there. Yeah, finally. Okay, so now we can instruct them to make electronics. There you
Very
go.
good. With this new research station and the ability to acquire electronics from scrap, we can provide our settlement with all the materials we need. The research station is very useful in enabling us to adapt ourselves to our surroundings by using the right technologies in any situation. Down in the Endzone, we dealt with the concept of a solar collector. This solar collector is able to collect sunlight and convert it into electricity. We wanted to try out whether our idea works and build a solar collector.
Alright, we're gonna stop at the solar collector. We'll have to come back to this. It's getting late. But let me save. Alright. Alright, guys, take care. Bye.